The first story involves my dad and my uncle. They were down on the beach down in Grantstown, and they found this man's body. And it turned out he was a Norwegian sailor called Hans Gulstad. And when my uncle and my dad found him, they went to the guards. They found his papers on him, his identity papers and all were on him. And they went to the guards, and the guards come and they identified who he was. And it turns out he had been torpedoed out of the Curragh Islands. His boat had sank, and he somehow managed to wash ashore in Collinstown. So somehow my uncle managed to get in contact with his widow in Norway, tell her that her husband had passed away, had been killed during the war. And they couldn't find any place to bury him, so they buried him in a little cemetery called Shamo, which is about 2 miles from here. And he's buried in there from that day to this, obviously. And his family came over about 2 years ago to see us. My dad and uncle had passed away, unfortunately. But his daughter came over to thank us personally for looking after her dad. And when my dad, they gave him a runner for an altar cloth, embroidered. It was most beautiful. I think it's still at home, red with our Lord and all that. I don't think they were Catholic, it doesn't matter. But they gave that as a present to my dad and something else to my uncle for being kind. So that's where he's interred. And Hans Gulstad, he inherited in 1960, I think, 60. It's still on the gravestone. I was very little. I just remember him talking about it.